Subramanya, and today I'm going to be talking on the topic data collection methods in research methodology and intellectual property rights. So let's move on. So first let's understand what are the data collection methods mainly that you have in research methodology and IPR. So the methods are mainly divided into two types, the primary and secondary. The primary consists of surveys, questionnaires that you ask others, interview, and experiments and observations, and many others. While the second part of the data collection deals with literature review, government database, local database, commercial database, and web scraping. So data collection methods are essential in research methodology because as they determine how the data is gathered and analyzed. These methods usually very significantly impact how accurate and how reliable your research can be. And understanding the different types of data collection techniques is very crucial when it comes to researching many new topics, experiments, and many different things. So next we're going to see about qualitative data collection methods. So qualitative methods usually focus on understanding the human behavior aspect. So it is like the they check how a person reacts when you're performing certain experiments meaning, for example, you're doing something which is related to social service, and when you're doing a research you need to take into the consideration how the public or the social reacts, or how a basic human behavior is towards that. It also has the reasons that govern such behavior too. And the common qualitative techniques are like such as interviews, focus groups, and observations. So like you go outside and observe how a person goes through his life and understands it, or you perform interviews to get different understandings of different people. And the focus groups, when you're performing certain research, you're going to focus towards one group on a specific topic. The methods provide usually a very detailed data which increases the accuracy of your research, and it also leads to a deeper insight into the research of the subject. So now seeing the quantitative data collection methods. So the quantitative data collection methods usually involve the collection of numerical data, usually those which are quantifiable and that can be analyzed. So it includes such a methods like surveys, experiments, and different types of observations which help in quantitative data collections. Such as, for example, you can, if you take the number of people who visit a mart, that is one method of quantitative data collection, like that. So these methods allow for the, like, they allow you to find out a basic pattern. For example, when I said you can find out quantitative data collection, you can find out how many people are visiting a mart. With this you can chart out most people buy. So with this you used a quantitative data, and you created a relation between, you found a grid pattern on which are the most products that are most sold with to the customers and while the others are not, and based on that you can change your sales methods. So now the mixed method approach. So a mixed method approach combines both qualitative and quantitative data collection methods. This approach provides a more comprehensive it gives a more comprehensive understanding of the research questions by triangulating the data. The researchers can leverage the strengths of both methodologies to enhance the rigor of their studies. So as you understand here, they said the qualitative and quantitative collection data techniques are both combined in the mixed methods. So as you can see in the diagram, you have the theory, you have the hypothesis, you get the data, and you get the pattern. The pattern is again from qualitative this thing, I mean the quantitative, and while the others also come with your qualitative method. Now the ethical considerations in data collection. So the ethical considerations are, they play a very crucial role, they play a very important role in designing and implementing your data collection methods. So for your data collections to method, you need to have these considerations correct. So researchers should always ensure and be informed about the consent, the confidentiality, and the right to withdraw from the study. The consent here means that if you are going to use something which belongs to others, for example, you're going to use somebody else's research paper or something, you should have their consent. You can't just take it from them. And when it comes to confidentiality, there are some things which must not be revealed, and it should not be revealed. Unless, once again, some of them can be done with consent while the others shouldn't be. So the confidentiality should be kept up with. And they also, the person, if they are working in teams, they should also have the right to withdraw from the study if that other person doesn't like it. You can't force them to do it. So these are some of the ethical considerations that you must have while doing a research. So they must they must adhere the ethical guidelines, as it helps maintain the trust and integrity in the research process. So as you can see here, you can see in the diagram what all do you need to achieve this and what all you achieve from it. You might have also learned some of it, such some of the statements such as plagiarism, fabrication, falsification. So plagiarism is here what means, again, you take somebody else's work without their consent and you paste it here. That is plagiarism. Fabrication is when you just create some random output which you like for your data instead of the original real output and you just give it there. That is once again wrong. And when it comes to falsification, once again, writing fake data in your research, which is known as falsification, is once again wrong and you must not do that. Now moving on, let's come to the intellectual property rights overview. So the intellectual property rights are a legal protection for creations of the mind. So for example, a researcher, one of the motivations he gets to do his research is all due to because of the intellectual property rights. That is, it's like an, it's, how do you say, it is like an, it says that this work was done by this person, it gives the credits to you, it says you are the one who did it. So as you can see here, including inventions, literature works, and designs. So you do it and you have the intellectual property rights over it, so people will recognize that you did it, they get recognition. So this becomes one of the motives for most of the researchers to start working and researching many things. So intellectual property rights is essential for encouraging innovations. As I said just now, it is essential for encouraging innovations and creativity by granting creators exclusive rights to their work. So as I mentioned now, you get recognized, it belongs to you. So here as it says, exclusive rights to their work. So now the creators will feel like it is theirs and nobody else. So more people will try to achieve many feats with the help of this, increasing, which pushes the technology and every other aspects ahead. Any kind of research will push us humans as a race ahead into the future. So understanding this IPR is crucial for researchers to protect their findings and ensure they get a proper credit. So as you can see in the diagram here, the intellectual property rights can be known in many ways. One, you can have trademarks, the other one patents, you can have industrial designs, you can have trade secrets, and then the copyrights that you can claim with these. Now coming to the internet intellectual property rights and data collection and research. So researchers must consider the intellectual property right issues when collecting and using data from various sources. So as I said, plagiarism, taking others contents, these all, some of these come under the intellectual property rights. That is, they have a claim over it, and you have to be careful that you don't cause any, like you take somebody else's, you just copy it and paste it. Why do you even need that? You need to work something ahead. You shouldn't copy and paste it back again. It is no use. So proper attribution and licensing of data are necessary to avoid plagiarism and copyright infringement. So as I said now, proper attributions and licensing, that is, you need to take a proper consent from whoever you're going to take the data, and make sure that you avoid plagiarism and the copyrights that can be claimed on your research paper. The researchers should understand the implications of data sharing and the potential of data misuse. So all researchers should understand what can happen as when you share data and when you misuse data. So they have to know it and they have to be very careful with it. So next we are going to see about copyright and data ownership. So copyright protects the original work of the authorships, including the research outputs and the data compilations. So researchers need to be aware of copyright laws to ensure their work is protected and their rights are enforced. Data ownership can be complex. Institutions often have policies that govern the rights of data collected during the research. So as we talked till now, the copyrights is one of the rights a researcher can exercise as their right when they have an authority over their innovations and their research. When somebody misuses, you can use this copyright method to stop them. It helps us, the researchers, to research new methods. So all researchers must be aware of these copyright laws to ensure that their work is protected. So everybody should use it. Now, patents and research innovations. So patents protect the inventions and process, providing exclusive rights to the inventor for a limited time. The researchers developing new technologies or methods should consider patenting to secure their innovations. So for example, I create an experiment. If I patent it, not paint, sorry, I'm really sorry. If I patent it, then this experiment is rightfully belongs to me. So understanding the patent process is essential for researchers who want to commercialize their work. or else not having a patent might lead up with your research being stolen by somebody else, which will cause a lot of problem to you or any business aspect of it. Now, and the conclusion and the best practices that we can follow is the effective data collection methods are very vital, so they must be followed and used properly. The researchers should prioritize ethical considerations. That is, as we mentioned, you shouldn't do anything such as plagiarism, fabrication, falsification, which leads to a very bad name. And by integrating sound research methodologies with strong understanding of IPR, researchers can enhance their contribution to knowledge. So this is the end of my presentation. I hope you understood something from this video.